everyone, and welcome to Suits. Does Suits Business Solution work on net zero? Yes, absolutely. So this is the Net Zero Cloud Learning org. We've got several different modules here where you can learn about Salesforce, Suits, and net zero. In net zero itself, we haven't yet configured the carbon footprints, but that will come soon. This is Suits Business Solution, the first of its kind in the legal industry, combining Suits and net zero cloud together. Thank you so much for watching this demonstration.
But most recently, what you actually did, you actually brought forward the deadline to get to net zero by 2030. And what you've also done is to add a new arm to your company called Fortescue Future Industries to make green hydrogen, develop clean energy technology. We've seen a lot of efforts by companies. They tell us the good news. But what we're seeing is that businesses are doing what they can, but not what they must to address the crisis. And I would like to ask you, how do we address concerns by business of staying competitive while dealing with the crisis? And what gives you that courage and confidence in charting a path that is still very new and almost scary for many of us?
Okay, thank you. It's a terrific question. I believe we should first start with the belief that we can do this, that we can even move beyond net zero, move to real zero. Second, if you have that in your mind, you need leadership. Leadership which we've all come to learn and to be inspired by here in Davos. Third, we need action. And fourth, we need collaboration. I remember the last time we all met in January, there was another pandemic about to break. It was COVID. But the pandemic I saw, I was here to try and defeat plastic entering the ocean. The pandemic I saw was a horrible acceptance that we couldn't do anything about global warming. We'd literally, as a human population, as an ecosystem of animals, have to suck up a 3% rise in temperature. Like COVID, that pandemic's not completely over either. I've been to meetings where I've heard scientists and others argue that we may have to get used to 2%. I can tell you as a scientist, that's an absolute disaster. So we started first with the belief that we can. We just started. Even the Secretary General of the United Nations, who I think is the greatest guy, along with other speakers, said, we might not have the technology yet, but we'll get there. May I assure you, we have the technology right now. It's getting better, sure. It's improving, absolutely. But every industry in the world has sufficient technology now to start moving away from fossil fuels. We're just but one example, and I want to give you a public commitment. I'll do everything I can with my companies to stop global warming and to eliminate emissions. I'll do this by making sure every executive's bonus is attached to that target. And I'll do this because it's not only right for the planet, but what I'm reaching out to business people all over the world to say, this is good business. This morning, the global mining community met and we discussed how we were going to collaborate. We started to believe last year, we're beginning to take action this year, and now we're going to collaborate. How can we together take what's seen as a laggard industry and make it one of the first industries to go green? I can tell you how. You put ammonia instead of diesel into your railway engines. You use hydrogen or electric power for your trucks. use hydrogen or solar or wind electrons and batteries for all your power stations, and before you know it, you're saving a huge amount of capital. If we have committed to spend $6.2 billion, we've made that public, to give ourselves real zero by 2030. We know how to do that. The technology's got to improve, and people who come after us will do it quicker and cheaper. But that $6.2 billion will pay itself off just through the construction period of at least half. We're down to nearly $3 billion. And then after that, over the next 20 years, we can either blow up another $20 billion on fossil fuel, or we can save $1 billion a year. That's a great investment against a net $3 billion. So my earnest request to every business leader is start. Believe you can. Take action, collaborate. I will share all the technologies we have. We spend hundreds of millions of dollars a year developing them. You can have our technology for free, but make a start, because the alternative is both uneconomic. Eliminating emissions is great business, but it's also catastrophic if you do nothing today.
Great. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Andrew.